Leader of the third party. Leader of third party.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Yesterday, in response to my colleague from Saanich North in the island, the Minister of Health referenced the broad engagement being undertaken around the oversight of social workers. The public engagement period ended in January of this year, and yet 11 months later, the public has not seen the results of that engagement. Through you, Honourable Speaker, to the Minister of Children and Family Development, when will the social work oversight report be released to the public?
Minister of Children and Family Development.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and thank you to the member for the question. And the member is correct in saying that a significant engagement and consultation process has been completed, and a lot of feedback has been provided. It's not a surprise, because it's so critical, the services that are delivered by frontline workers, that we've received a lot of feedback, and it's really important to make sure that we do the analysis of that feedback and that we are able to prepare a report that we will make publicly available that will describe what we've heard and will take us into the next steps of the process. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Leader of third party supplemental.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. This is the most perfect example of the problem that we have with Ministry of Children and Families. Something as simple as an engagement report on an issue that has been alive in this province for decades, and we can't get 11 months later the results of that report, of that engagement. The Representative for Children and Youth, the Ombuds Office, First Nations Leadership Council, Union of BC Indian Chiefs, advocates, families, youth with lived experiences, all of them paint the same picture, a system that is failing to protect children and families in this province, a system that is not supporting the parents who should be able to rely on this and should be able to expect that from their government, a system that can't even be transparent about an engagement process. And yet, this government delays, deflects, and denies to the Premier. Is he prepared to show the long overdue leadership and insist on transformational reform of the Ministry for Children and Families?
Minister.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and thank you to the member for the question. We've known, as the member says, for a long time that the child welfare system has been associated with the harms of colonialism, and we've ended up with the overrepresentation of Indigenous children and youth in the care system. And we've known that we have needed to make significant changes to the system. So, Honourable Speaker, since 2017, significant steps have been taken. For example, unanimously last year, we passed historic legislation to support Indigenous nations exercising their inherent right of jurisdiction over child and youth family services. We harmonised the rates for care so that children and youth in out-of-care placements we're now seeing increasing because we harmonised the rates with foster carers, and we increased those in the recent budget by up to 47% as well, Honourable Speaker. We're supporting young people who are transitioning from the care system into independence with a whole suite of services, because we know that that's a high-risk time for them to be struggling and to have really adverse and disadvantaged outcomes. There's a lot more work to do, Honourable Speaker, but we are building agreements with nations and supporting them in exercising their jurisdiction. Thank you.